Good afternoon, it's Lynette with Charm Creamery Crochet. I just want to pop in real quick, and I'm going to sit you down over here, and the lighting is going to change a little bit. But today, don't mind the yarn winder, I'm going to try my yarn winder, and so I thought I'd share that with you. So we'll do that real quick first. I've never used it before, I just unboxed it, so we're going to try a yarn winder yarn winder review. Let's see how that works. I got this on Amazon. I think it was about $15. I've seen one that at least looked like this in other people's videos, you know, like in the background or whatever. So I thought, well, I asked, and people said different ones, and so I just went, this is the one that I could get inexpensively on YouTube to see on Amazon, to see if I even liked it or if I prefer just to make a ball. The yarn that I'm going to wind up right now is from Darn Good Yarn. So you can see that. And it was I bought their first kit, and so this yarn was in there. And I was going to make that little seat cover for the chair from my video yesterday. I was going to make it in this because it's only 50 yards, and what do you do with 50 yards? It was in a hank. This yarn is medium, and it's pulled silk and sari silk. So I don't know what that means. And I think the color is called Stormy Day. And I'm like, what am I going to do with 50 yards of this? And it would make a little cover. But as I got it all screwed up. First of all, let me go with that. When I tried to unhank it, I never tried to unhank yarn before. And I was just going to crochet right from the hank. No, that didn't work out so well. But as I was working with it, I'm like, oh, this is really soft. This is really nice. I'm not using this yarn to put on that little chair. I'm going to use, because this needs to go like in a shawl or a cowl. Maybe a little cowl could be made out of it. Too nice to sit on that little chair for an elephant to sit on. So, let's see if we can get this. So since I decided that, I thought, well, now I need to do something with it because this little ball is not working out so well for me. So I think what you do is you put this through here. Wait, I'm doing it backwards already. I'm backwards already. How can I already be backwards? Well, you gotta line this through here. How do you do that? Oh, you go start there, duh. My ancestry shows. Okay, and then I think you throw that in there, and then you just twist. Oh, hey, that's pretty simple. Well, except it's twisting the wrong way that I have my ball kind of wound up here. That's not working out so well, as you can see. Uh-oh. So it was pretty simple to attach to my table. It says that it will attach 1 1/4 inch thickness, to a table. This is just a little TV table. But hey, that's working out really nice. Oops. Got a little bunched up there. Alrighty. So if you have a hank of yarn, how do you crochet from that? I mean, you have to make a ball out of it, right? I mean, I don't know. I couldn't just let it lay on the couch next to me. It wasn't working. Like, it started to knot up, and then I ended up with a really bad mess. My husband came walking in. He's like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's really bad yarn box, babe. I'm dealing with some yarn bark over here now. I got it knotted. But hey, this is working out not too shabby. Other than, I probably should have, I don't know. Until I get it knotted up, it's doing pretty good. Look at that. Now that I got the kinks worked out, oops, one more kink. Almost at the end. So we got 50 yards wound up, including kinks, in just a couple of minutes. into a nice, well, I'm at the end here, so it's just knotting itself around each other. Like twisted. Oh, come on. Okay, I would recommend a yarn baller, even though I'm getting this little knot issue right here. It's probably from because of the ball I started it in. Oh, come on now. So, let's see. That comes out. Okay, now we should be good to go. So look at that. Complete. Pull it off. Hey, that's pretty simple. I like it. So, look, it made a very nice little ball. I'm going to take my clippy clip, clip the end together here. I'm going to take this and shove it in the center so I always know what that is. Not that I'll forget because it's my only one. So probably I won't forget that. So hey, that's pretty cool. That's the yarn baller. And I would give that a pretty much a thumbs up. So I wanted to go over my whips real quick. I usually have 2 that I actively am working on. I try to only keep like 2 whips. If I get more than that, I really get confused on what I'm doing. So I was going on about the thick yarn blanket. This is the Stitch Studios by Nicole. This color is called Deep Blue Mix. And this is just like the AC Moore brand of Bernat blanket. And so you're all familiar with the type of yarn, but I was a little distraught with trying to get it started because I've made a couple of blankets out of this yarn, and I just have a really hard time seeing the stitches. This yarn, because it's the variegation on it is very short between color changes, it's kind of easy to see the stitches because with the color changes in there it makes it a lot easier, but I always have a hard time starting them because it's hard to see them in the chain. Hard for me anyway. And I find that you kind of have to feel where the stitch is with your fingers as you go. At least that's been working for me. So I took some tips from others, and I went with a size 10mm crochet hook. I like to look at the millimeter size. Well, 10mm, it says it's an N. And this is a boy hook. I really like the rubber hooks. So I used the 10mm, and I'm just doing a half double crochet. I got a ball and a little into this already, but it's long. It's like 101 stitches long. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for what we'll see. So I started with every 5 stitches I was putting like a stitch marker. I was just using yarn, and now I'm using yarn to count up my rows this way as well, just weaving it every 10 rows because I want to keep a count so that I know for the next blankets that I'm making. So anyway, that's my first whip, and I like to keep a whip that I crochet sometimes in the mornings when I get to work early and on my lunch hours, and I like to keep something to take this in my lunch bag. So right now I am using Premier Cotton. We have a camper, and my husband likes to cook when we're at the camper, and he likes to use cast iron pans. Yummy, yummy, yummy stuff, let me tell you what. They're black, and they're very hot. So I have made in the past pot holders, and my mom taught me, actually. That's one of the few crochet projects that she did on a regular. And she always made them out of acrylic yarn. And until I started crocheting it on a lot myself, I had tried a couple of times as a child and then as an adult. I never really got into it until after my mom passed, which is kind of sad for me. But I never knew about cotton yarn or that there was even differences in yarn. It was just you go to the store, you buy the color you like if you're going to make something. So anyway, I never knew that you should use cotton yarn for projects like that. So we're trying it in cotton, and I'm doing black because it's going to be outdoors and with charcoal and stuff gets dirty. So I thought if he does melt it, it probably won't show as much on the black, and it's for a guy, and so we've got black, and then I do have, which I'm not putting into it yet, but I have some, it's right here, I'll show you.